Hey there, all you lovely people. Welcome back to the podcast. Just really quick, I wanted to say thanks for tuning back in here. And if for some bizarre reason this podcast is something you seem to enjoy, you can help support it and myself by leaving a 5-star rating or a written review anywhere you're hearing this. If you want to get a hold of me, you can do that at therealjohnstunes@gmail.com. Or you can connect with me on any of my social media platforms. That would be Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, any of those sort of things. Just search my name, Jonathan Vautour. Or if for some reason you can't figure any of that out, just head to my website, jonstunes.ca, and all the links are neatly organized for you there. There's even a contact sheet for my email, etc. So today's guest is none other than James Beaudry of the James Beaudry Band. James has spent the last year or so taking an extended hiatus from the local music scene, largely for personal reasons, but not all too long ago, you could catch the James Beaudry Band opening for larger touring bands like Platinum Blonde or One Bad Son. Now that he's back and ready to rock, I'm sure you'll be seeing and hearing a lot more of him. The recording of this podcast was a ton of fun. I've known James for a while, and he's always a guy who wears a smile and just has a ton of energy. And he's the first person to actually perform any music on this podcast. Last but not least, I'll actually be playing a little show with James and another local artist, Christopher Stone, on September 22nd at Black Bar on White Ave. Tickets will be $10 at the door, but seating is very limited, so make sure you try to get a hold of one of us ASAP to reserve your ticket and your seat. Doors will be around 5 p.m., and I believe we'll kick off around 5:30 or so. So without any further ado, give it up for James Beaudry.
Oh, okay, well, I'll give you a little bit of rock and roll fever. We're feeling deadly 'cause it's Saturday night. Grab my keys and I'm out. No sleep for the wicked. I need to dance, scream, and shout. My mama said that I should lay down and rest. However, she doesn't know the only way that I can cure my disease is to get up and go. Yeah, I got a rock and roll fever running through my veins. I got a rock and roll fever, and I am burning up, but I'm alright, oh yeah. We're getting high, we're getting sweaty and chills. My mind is going berserk. The band is rocking and the girls going wild. This kind of medicine works. Come on, girls. This is my illness, it's a good one to have. It's my blessing and curse. Tomorrow morning I wake up in my bed, or I'll ride home in a hearse. I got a rock and roll fever. It is running through my veins. Yeah, I got a rock and roll fever, and I am burning up, but I'm alright. I got a rock and roll fever, and it is running through my veins. Yeah, I got a rock and roll fever, and I am burning up, but I'm alright. Oh yeah. Yeah!
Nice, very nice.
Yeah.
That's the way you start a podcast.
That is the way you started with a rock and roll fever.
Rock and roll fever. Mr. James Beaudry, how you doing, man?
I'm good, man.
You're good? You feeling warmed up now? You amped up after
I'm feeling
that?
warmed up.
Amped
Ready
up?
for a nap.
Ready?
Let's do it.
Warmed up, ready for a nap.
Yeah.
Okay. That's awesome, man. So, what have you been up to? You've been out of town for quite a while.
A year and 2 months, I think.
Mm-hmm. You've been hanging out in Salmon Arm.
Yeah, Burrs. Yeah, I went out there. You know, life wasn't going so great about a year ago. And
Sometimes you just got to get away.
yeah, so it was nice to get away and per se have a break. I mean, it wasn't quite a break, but it was nice to get out of the busy city and get away from everybody and just have me time. I feel like I more or less rediscovered myself, who I am.
Get to hit the reboot a little bit.
Yeah, you know, take a break from the busy life that I'm used to. I'm used to go, and
Yeah.
living
You're a
out
high
there
energy
and-
guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Even just talking to you, you kind of have like that bouncy nature. You know,
Yeah.
you're a high energy guy. So I get that. And I kind of get to like the whole. When people have people tend to get particular perspectives of people, and we see the things that we're used to seeing or we want to see about them, and we have a hard time seeing around those perspectives after we've kind of formed them, right?
Well,
so
exactly.
when you can get away for a while and you can kind of come back, sometimes you can reinvent yourself. Like not only can you do work and actually reinvent yourself, like actually make yourself different, but you can get an opportunity to, shake people's hand a second time.
Exactly. And that's why I thought I would quit the James Beaudry band and start a boy band. That's what I'm going to do. Here on the podcast, we're going to start it. We're going to write our first song today, and it's going to be all about... It's all about love or something like that.
This is news to me, but basically already what I do. So.
Yeah, exactly, right? Yeah, we want to please the babes that are listening. Or dudettes, whatever you prefer.
Problem is you just don't have enough hair.
I don't. That's why we need to please the ladies.
I'll be the face, and you can be the voice.
But I want to be the hair. So bad, you have no idea.
Well, it's okay. Well, we'll just get you. We'll get you a hairpiece.
There we go.
We'll
But only if it's a Donald Trump hairpiece.
There you go. But we'll have to. We can dye. What color should we dye it though? It should be like
Purple.
Blue. Purple. Ooh, purple.
Purple and
Trump
pink.
hair. Purple and pink. In like streaks
Yeah.
or like tips, like ice them a little.
I think pink streaks.
Pink streaks.
And I'll wear his suit too.
Hey.
Like his suit, we'll go get it when he gets a dry cleaner or something. We'll just
yoink it.
I'm part of the Secret Service, and I'm here to pick up Donald Trump's suit, and they'll go, oh, okay, and they'll give it to us. And,
Oh yes, Mr. Trump. Here
yeah,
you go.
exactly. Yeah, please come again.
Oh, that's awesome. That's too funny.
No,
Okay.
you sorry.
No, you go ahead.
You were saying, getting the chance to more or less reinvent yourself in some sort.
Yeah.
And it's I feel that's exactly what I got to do. Was I honestly I went out there with the plan to gotta get my life on track. I'm gonna write a whole bunch of songs. It's not that I didn't write a whole bunch of songs. It wasn't as many as I expected. I think about my expectations too high, but I mean I was hoping for like that age-old 2-3 albums worth of songs that me and my band can go through, and it's like I didn't get that. I don't feel like I did not accomplish something because I wrote a bunch of songs, right? But it's
well, kind of from what you told me before that we started recording, it kind of sounded like
you don't want to know what happened before we started recording.
Not a ton of stuff really happened to you when you were gone, though, right? So in this, like, you got rest. That's what you went for, right? You went to get away, not to go through the stuff that makes good songs.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? So, I mean, I get that. Like, I write music when there's something to write about. A lot of people write. I always hear this from like really big songwriters and all these different industry people and stuff. And they're like, you got to write songs every single day. You're always writing, always writing, always writing.
You guys
like,
as a band need to practice at
Yeah.
least 6 times a week, and you're like, who the hell has time to practice with their band 6 times a week?
Yeah, you realize that I still have to eat, right?
Yeah,
like, there's got to be food in that refrigerator.
Yeah, if not, at least the rent is paid, I think.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't. Maybe it's to my detriment, and I do think that maybe I slack off a little when it comes to that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
But I definitely don't write every day. I'm not like on the grindstone. I write when there's something to write about, and then I store it, and then I nitpick and pick and work at it little bits at a time.
Do you always hate it when you forget to hit record on your recorder when you got a song idea and you're playing it? You're like, that sounds awesome.
Yeah.
So and then you're like, no, I'll remember it, and then you go back to it later and you start playing it a little bit differently than you remembered, and it's not quite the same thing you wrote 2 hours ago.
And then you're kind of stuck with this loop where you're kind of sensationalizing, like, was it really that good, or is it just lost its luster now that it's calmed down? Because you do that too, right? Sometimes you'll write a new song and you think it's like, hey, this is it.
This is the best song in the world.
Yeah, this is the new, whatever it is, right? And but then you give it like that cool down period.
Yeah.
And then sometimes it's not. So in that situation where you're like, I have an idea, I have this hook or this chorus or this verse piece or whatever it is. If I go through that and I forget what it is, I'm always like left wondering, was it really that good? You know what I mean?
That's true.
But I mean, who knows, right?
Yeah.
So okay, so a question for you. So you got off to BC there for a while. You got to get some time and to cool down. So now you're back. what are your plans? What do you have in your head for what it's gonna look like in the next little while?
Well, what's it gonna look like?
Yeah.
Got some shows coming up. September 22nd at Black Bar.
Okay.
Tell me more. I forget who I'm playing with.
Right.
Just a couple of local guys.
Not important.
They're whatever. Come on, I'm playing. I'm playing. That's what's important here. No, I'm playing with yours truly and Christopher Stone. And yeah, it's gonna be good. I'm excited. I just played a couple Wednesdays ago or Thursdays ago or whenever this airs. It was a little while ago, probably.
Just side note? Did you do it? Did you do it any? Were you really into any music at all when you were away in BC?
No.
Like I know you did. Like obviously you said you did some songwriting, but you didn't get out too much.
I mean, actually,
like so you kind of took a break from that as well.
I really did, and it was kind of nice. I mean, I still played my guitar all the time, but then even that got boring because it was just like, come on, who it's just like sex. Who wants to play with themselves all the time, right? Like, you need a little help from your friends sometimes.
Oh, no. That's a sound bite.
That is, right? Beep. What did you say there? Nothing.
Yeah. There seems to be 30 seconds from this podcast lost.
Yeah, right. I don't know what happened to it.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I played a talent show at our little community hall.
Okay.
And there was like, I don't know, maybe 5 old people that showed up.
Oh, so that wasn't your crowd.
No, but they really enjoyed it, which was good. I was happy about that. There's this kid who played before me. He played the piano. He's obviously just learning, but he did fantastic for someone who was playing maybe a couple years.
That's cool.
You know, he learned the songs, and that was just my grandma.
I don't know if that's really cool. You know, I don't know if you know this about me, but the first moment where I kind of had that moment where this is realistic for me. This is something I can do. This is something I can't stop doing. This is something I love. That first moment was when I won a talent show. You know what I mean? That was that. It's funny, you know. It sounds kind of goofy, but
no, I hear you. I won the talent show too.
Oh, really? Hilarious! Wow.
It was a good $20 Timmy's gift card. I tell you,
my prize was better.
Yeah, well, probably, yeah. But what was really cool about that was that my sister Jasmine sang with me, and it was the first time we'd ever done anything like that. And the whole time I'm singing and trying to hold back tears because it was just so magical in some sense.
Just had that right energy. Hey?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
It's my sisters are my keepers, both of them. They
right.
You know, my sister Jasmine. You know, years and years ago, my parents divorced, and you know, lots of young kids take that tough. And of course, I took it hard. I was drinking and doing drugs and trying to get away from my feelings. And long story short, I was pretty much ready to end my life. And before I actually went the full length, my sister popped in my head, and I was like, well, what kind of example is that?
What about her?
Like so life gets hard, so kill yourself. Yeah, it's the easy way out. But
and you think about it like, I totally get that. Like,
how would it affect her?
Yeah, and you think about that like, that's okay for me, but that's not something that's okay for her, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, where you have a different regard for the people around you and the people that you really care about than you do for yourself.
Yeah.
That's a hard self lesson to learn.
100%.
Yeah.
No, I'm glad I learned that. I'm glad I've gone through everything I've gone through in my life, because I wouldn't be who I am today if I didn't go through that stuff. You know, I'm still Mr. Sensitive. I always will be, but you know, I try to wear my hearts on my sleeves and try to always be there for anybody and everybody that needs it, right? Because I had people there when I needed it.
That's always an interesting perspective. You know, when you talk about people, when you ask people when they make a mistake or they do something that really, you know, like you ask them, do you regret that, when they have had time to like reflect on that, and you know, they say no. And it's an interesting perspective that you don't necessarily regret mistakes that you make. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I have a song that has a lyric in it that says, I can't say I wouldn't do things differently. Maybe I'd right some wrongs now that I see, but all in all, I finally understand. Right. And it's really interesting to me. It's something I think about often, where, you know, we do these things that sometimes we even know ahead of time that we probably shouldn't do that. Right. Yeah. It's not good for me. It's not good for the greater good or whatever. Right. But we make these mistakes sometimes consciously even. And it's like, why did I do that? And even in that whole reflection process, we don't necessarily regret doing them, because then we can examine our actions as to why we're doing them, and then get to the root of the issue and then become better people.
Yeah.
It's just that's super interesting to me. So a little introspective there, but
there you
you know,
go.
yeah, it's super cool. So okay, so we got real deep there for a second.
Yeah.
So I don't want to pry or like get to anything too deep that, if you're uncomfortable talking about, that's totally stop me
Hey,
anytime.
man, I'm an open book. I got
Okay.
nothing to...
So I understand that now so you're a recovering alcoholic, right?
Hell yeah, I will always be a proud alcoholic.
Right. And that's it. Now I see both my grandfathers were heavy alcoholics. And so that's something that I grew up around, watching that alcohol abuse, and it was something that really impacted me. And it's not like I'm afraid of a drink or I'm, anything like that. Oh yeah, feel free, move that mic a little closer to you. Get yourself comfortable there.
I'll just do this so you know where I moved it, so you can cut it.
Don't tap the mic.
Don't do that.
Yeah.
You're gonna spike it.
You actually didn't. Okay. Anyway, so I guess my question is to you, being somebody. Let me back up one more before I go there.
Back it on up.
Back it on up. That's right. So
I feel like I can't see you past this thing.
yeah, it's a little.
Can I
You
put
can
it
probably. What if you rotate that a little bit? Maybe.
I mean, I don't care. I don't want to be like picky or anything, but.
And you can just.
I figured it out.
Drop it down.
I got it.
Oh, there
we
you go.
go.
Perfect.
There we go. Now I feel like I'm on a real radio station. Yeah, so what were you seeing there, John? I was busy looking at the people looking through the window, looking at me, looking at them.
John's janky boom mic work wasn't enough for Mr. Beaudry.
No.
That's okay.
No, dude, right. Dude, right, or don't do it at all.
That's right. Okay, all right. So my question for you is, I know from people that have kind of gone through the program and have had some, desire to get clean and dry and stuff. The one thing that they always say is that you never stop being an alcoholic. You just become a recovering alcoholic, and you're always recovering, right?
Because you're always just one drink away.
Right, and then you're no longer sober anymore, right? And that's it's a hard battle to fight for the rest of your life, but you do that. So I wanted to ask you, like, because the music industry is something that's heavily steeped in alcohol and debauchery and partying and like that whole scene. Is it difficult for you going into situations like where you're in the bar, other people are drinking around you and stuff? Because I know I have friends that are recovering alcoholics and they can't even be like, they can't walk by a bar kind of thing. You know what I mean? And it's a tough thing for them to deal with.
I'll give you the short answer and then the long answer.
Sure. Yeah, please.
So the short answer is I play in a band. I play music.
Because you can't get away from it.
I have to suck it up one way or another.
Yeah.
The long version is that sucking it up was probably the best thing for me because early on in my recovery, because at first I tried to get sober for probably about a year-ish. Mm-hmm. And at the beginning, I got it down to once a week, which was
right. So you like cut it back.
It was like, I was drinking every day, man. Every day, 12 beers or more. That's not much to some people. Well, I'm sorry, 12 beers a day is that's a lot in a week. That's a lot in a month.
Like I can't even financially. Like that's
right. Well, and that was the thing. It got so bad I was borrowing money, and just like I had no self-respect for myself. I didn't care about myself. I didn't care about other people. It's in some aspect,
Right.
It was, hey, John, can I borrow $20? Yeah, no problem, man. Cool, right? I'll get it back to you. Hey, John, can I borrow $20, man? Do you, man? Oh, yeah, man, don't worry about it. And it was...
Yeah.
It was
next thing you know, you're like $800 in
yeah, and it's like, hey, man, I can't give you another $20 because, you just took this much money. And it's like, well, I'll get it back to you. And I never did.
Right.
But that's not what you asked me. I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. It's all interesting to me. It's all yeah, for sure.
It was hard at the beginning going back into the bar scene, knowing that I can't drink, and that's what I keep telling myself. I can't. Mm-hmm. I can. Hell yeah, man! You want to crack open a beer and let's do it? By all means, let's do it. Mm-hmm. But I can't.
Yes.
Because it.
You know where that road goes.
Yeah, it gets me up to no good. I don't know. So it was just something I had to suck up right away. The first few shows were the hardest because my band drinks, and they were all cool with it. We don't have to have drinks. We might just have a beer or whatever, you know. And no, fuck, man, you want to tie one on? You want to?
Yeah, because you don't want to be the wet blanket, right?
Yeah, right. Like
yeah,
you want to get drunk? I don't care. Like it
yeah,
doesn't bother me any.
yeah,
And
yeah.
so I just suck it up. It is the, I guess, easiest answer.
Mm-hmm.
Is it's what I love to do. So am I gonna quit doing what I love to do just because I can't partake in something anymore?
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, see now you got me going there, and I think I think about my last drunk, and I do a lot, and it's one of my most favorite drunks I ever had, in some sense.
How so?
Well, it was a big event, right? And played a gig, brought my tequila, brought some beer. Which, by the way, the liquor store never charged us for that case of beer. That's their own loss. But I realized that when I looked at the receipt, she didn't scan it.
I'm not going back in.
Yeah, I'm already at the venue. I already drank 6, so. But yeah, and I even my girlfriend. I was always an asshole to her when I drank. Her the most, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Which it got me into a lot of shitty situations.
Mm-hmm.
You live and you learn and you grow, but there was party favors, let's just say, and
Mm-hmm. Allegedly. Allegedly.
yeah, and they she wanted to go because she knew I was gonna get into trouble, and I was like, well, just go, see you later.
Yeah, because she probably doesn't. I'm sure she didn't like seeing you. Like
Yeah,
that, right?
exactly,
So
right. And she
probably hard. Like for when you care about someone, it's hard to see them. Yeah.
waste their life away.
Yeah.
Get up to something that they know. I used to get so drunk, and I would come home, and I'd look in the mirror, and I would be like, you're an asshole. You're an idiot, man. Like you're so stupid. You want to quit drinking, but here you are drunk, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's go have another beer. Whatever, you're already drunk. Try again tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was no trying. There was just doing.
Right.
But yeah, no. My last drunk, I guess. I allegedly got really really messed up on some party favors for hours, man, hours. And it was probably 7 a.m. by the time we left where we were. All the alcohol where we were was gone. All the alleged party favors were gone.
Mm-hmm.
And I puked blood for almost 2 weeks. I wasn't. My skin color didn't come back for a month.
Mm-hmm.
I could barely eat anything for almost a month.
That's unimaginable to me. Like your body's just so out of everything.
My body was done.
Just you squeezed and wrung out.
I think if I would have kept going, even a month after that, I'm pretty sure I'd be dead. I'm almost certain because, man, I've never ever had. I've had alcohol poisoning, but it was never that bad, and for so long. And then, I'm used to drinking almost every day. Now not drinking because I'm detoxing and these alleged party favors I'm coming off of, which I got very heavy into closer to the end of my drinking days, all the time. I knew where to go if I wanted some alleged party favors.
Right. Well, and that's lends itself, very well to the fact that, you got to get away and you got to stay away from certain people for a period of time.
Yeah.
And that's the funny thing about drinking, right? Because you can say no to everything all day long, and then that's the thing about alcohol. It makes you a little braver, and a little braver. And sometimes we get a little too brave, like that
100%.
fear in your head of like the fear is a good thing. Like that's a natural thing, right? You should have a little anxiety about getting on stage and singing your heart out because it makes you prepare. It makes you want to not fail. Yeah. If you're too brave,
have a couple shots and you're like, this is gonna be nothing. This is cakewalk.
Yeah. And guess what? Because you have no fear,
that's why you screwed up 5 times.
Yeah, you don't. Yeah. Well, you don't want to have no fear if you're the guy that thinks he can fly on the top of a skyscraper, right? Like realistically, you got to be afraid of it.
You can if you have one of those cool coat flying thingers. What are those called? Where you jump and then
That's not flying. That's falling with style.
Touche. Did you see the new Toy Story?
No, you know what? I really want to.
It's way better than number 3.
I hear that. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. If I go without my girlfriend, I'll get my nuts cut off.
Well, good thing that it'll be out on DVD just before Christmas.
Yeah.
Or Blu-ray if you're one of those. Gotta be.
It's one of those things where like I want to go, but it's like the schedule's got to line up. You know what I mean? And it's like,
Exactly.
yeah.
Well, you could go see it. Don't tell her, and then take her, and then just make sure you don't go. Oh, and this is where Woody does this, and this is where Buzz does this, and
just predict the whole movie, pretending like it's so predictable, like I know what's coming up.
Yeah. And then by the end of it, go, that movie was meh. I called everything.
I knew exactly what. Yeah, they were. What were they thinking when they wrote this? Should be sitting there like, you asshole.
Right?
It's hilarious, man.
Hey, partner. I love you. Love you too, buddy.
That's awesome. I like the distractions when you get to like set up in somebody else's house and you get to see like what else is going on.
And you go, wow, this is their life. No.
Hey, I didn't say it. No, man, that's cool. That's cool.
Oh yeah.
So, what do we have coming up for new material? What kind of stuff are you guys working on?
Music.
Yeah. Do you have like stuff planned?
Oh, new music. Well, yeah, we have quite a few new songs actually.
Mm-hmm. In the works.
Yeah.
Where along that process are you at?
Yeah. Well, very probably mid to early pre-production.
Okay. Oh, it looks like James is
Just
grabbing the
before
guitar.
the album. I'll play a little bit of something.
Sure.
But I'm only gonna. I probably screw it up because I can never remember it.
Right.
But I'm working on it. It's called Tipsy Diver. We've never played this one live yet. She was a tipsy diver. She wanted to tipsy dive all night. She likes him stiff on ice the way she likes her man all done up nice. She wanted me to tipsy dive, but I'm not drunk enough to try. Something like that.
Wow.
Still
That's awesome,
work in progress.
Yeah. Very, very catchy. Very catchy. So, what's a process for you? Like when you're writing, I'm interested because songwriting is one of those things where there's kind of an endless amount of ways to do it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I know some people who claim to sit down and write an entire song, and to that I say,
have you ever done that? That tells me that you've almost done it.
The short answer is yes, but no song is ever truly done. You know what I mean?
It's
So
true.
you'll sit down and you'll get the bones. You know what I mean? You can fully write. You can get verse, chorus, verse, bridge, whatever format you're writing. You can do that. I'm never happy with a song until I'm happy with a song. You know what I mean? So
But are you ever truly happy with a song?
there's a few that I'm fairly proud of.
Because you can always go back and go, oh yeah, I could do this. I could do
Yeah.
that. Have you ever had a song like that you wrote like let's say 10 years ago and you're like, and then it comes back to you and you start playing it and you're like, oh yeah, and then you change something slightly and you go, oh yeah, like,
Oh yeah, I mean like that's my whole first album.
right,
but-
yeah. My whole first album was all love songs I wrote for people.
Really?
Yeah,
100% love songs.
pretty much.
Was it like so? Not even any like no heartbreak contrasting that, just straight up.
Well, there's a song called Broken Hearted Love Song. I wrote about me. I was a big player when I was younger. Big player. I'd tell any girl anything they wanted to hear just so I could get a little sucky.
Right.
I'm not proud of it, but I did
As
it.
young men do.
Yeah, right?
As
There's
young
only
men
one thing
do.
we want. Come on.
Fair enough.
Yeah, thinking with the head.
The other one.
Yeah.
The other one.
But yeah, it's called Broken Heart Love Song. I actually re-recorded it for my 10-year anniversary last year of my first album.
Mm-hmm.
But I had written that song from a girl's perspective on me and how
I see.
I kind of stepped all over them. And
Mm-hmm.
there's a song called Fire Fallen. I'd half written it. I forget for what. It was just one of those songs, right, that you kind of just wrote. And I had lyrics kicking around. And then one of my friends, Kirsten, she died of a ecstasy overdose.
Okay.
And then I'd finished writing the song, so it all of a sudden became about her.
Oh.
And
that's interesting how sometimes you're writing a song and you never know what it's about until like you'll hit that moment and you're like, oh, that's what it's about.
Right, yeah. And then there was like End of Time, which was what my album was called.
Yeah.
Or is called, I guess. That's what we
it
used
still
to call
exists.
it. Yeah. It's not there anymore. But that was a love song. I wrote a song called I Love You, My Cheryl Boo for my friend Cheryl.
Mm-hmm.
Wrote a song called Kai, One of a Kind. My friend had just had a baby. So I wrote a song for her son. And then the only one was the actual, the whole guitar riff was the very first guitar riff I had ever written.
Okay.
I had my guitar for like maybe 2 weeks and I started screwing around. Really easy, just... And I was writing in drop D a lot back then. So I had like just screwed around and then I came up with a song and then I was dating this girl and I was like, oh, I wrote the song for you, blah, blah, blah. And that ended up becoming my very first single. Yeah, I don't know why I detuned it because I could sing it, but I can't sing that high anymore because my balls have since dropped. So
That's crazy. You know what? Like, that's funny. I think when I think of myself, I definitely think that my vocal range has increased since I was younger, just for sheer like muscle strength and everything.
Yeah.
But I'm not that old either, so maybe that changes as I get older too.
yeah,
but
you're only like what, 35, 40 maybe?
I'm 23.
Maybe 42,
23, James.
42,
Come
maybe?
on.
Oh, it starts to wrinkles in your head. No.
Ouch.
Low blow.
Low
Hey,
blow.
whatever happened to that podcast we recorded? What?
Oh man, my forehead lines.
Great. Now he's gonna be self-conscious.
That's okay. You could have called them 5 headlines. It could have been worse, right?
I could have.
So, no. So I mean, so when it comes to songwriting, it's always interesting to hear.
Songwriting progress or
to hear-
process. Sorry.
That's okay. It's just always interesting to me to hear like how other people go about their how they start writing a song, what the first thing they do.
Usually
is,
one
how
of
they
two
organize.
ways. Is it'll either start with lyrics, and then see there's like subcategories now because if it starts with lyrics, sometimes it's just lyrics,
Right.
or sometimes there's lyrics and a melody.
Okay.
So then I know, okay, this, and then I can find it. Okay, it's going to be an A. Okay, good to know. Which James Beaudry band, we read a lot of shit in A. That's what I'm comfortable in. When I break away, you're like, holy shit, did you play something other than an A? But, or if I'm playing on guitar, like for instance, I wrote this not too long ago. So like something like that, I was just screwing around and I came up with that, and I have like a melody in my head. I don't know the lyrics, right? But I would assume it would be something like, whatever. You know what I mean? Like to follow it.
Gotcha. So
I
you'll kind
genuinely try to stay in tune too. By the way.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Yeah, so do we.
Yeah, fair enough.
So the
Interesting,
auto-tune-
James. Interesting. We all do.
The auto tune button is non so.
This is a modest podcast. We don't have those abilities here.
So you'll just delete that part then, right?
Yeah, that's right. We'll fix it in post.
Yeah,
We'll fix it in
I already
post.
did. Paint that part even louder. No.
Oh boy.
Yeah, so yeah, it's either that, I'll start with lyrics and a melody or just lyrics. And then I'll look at them, I'll figure it out, and then I'll start screwing around on the guitar. And I don't really have a process on like where I'm gonna start. Like I could start like anything. You can start anywhere. I recently started playing the keyboard. I wrote a song on the keyboard.
Okay.
Really simple, nothing hard. All my music is really simple. And then I have like Colin McDonald on the lead guitar.
And you build around.
Yeah, he makes my music look really good. Well, I'm just going. And he's like, and you're like, yeah.
Gotcha.
And I always do. I always give him a great big hug on stage, and I always say, and now I always introduce him last when I introduce the band. Right? And hi, I'm James Beaudry, and here's the drummer, and here's our bass player, and here's the most important man of the band, Mr. Colin McDonald.
There you go.
And I genuinely mean that because he kicks me in the ass when I need it. If I'm slacking on promotion or this or that or anything, he's like, come on, man. Like, are you going to do this or you're not going to do it? He doesn't care if I do it, but he would prefer I did it. Cause,
Right.
You know,
Yeah,
we're a brand, right?
Yeah,
so
yeah,
you need to keep that brand in people's faces most of the time, right? So.
Gotcha. Okay. No, that's interesting because like so me like when I tend to write, I'll usually write in fragments, right? So one of the things I kind of learned early on when I started really taking to songwriting was not to and this is subjective. It's not for everybody, right? Everybody has their own methods, but I will write in pieces and I will finish the piece that I'm writing. I decided a long time ago that if I'm going to write a verse, I'm going to finish that verse.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean that like I can't change it later, but I'm going to finish, if I'm writing verses, I'll write 2 verses in one sitting, right? And then if there's a million things, because my head just moves too fast sometimes, like, I'm thinking about this other thing, and I got to text this person, and okay, I got to this, that, and I got to remember, I got to write this down, and there's too much stuff in my head, and I have a hard time clearing it out sometimes. So for me, I like, okay, I got to focus, I'll get this done quick, and then I save those pieces, and then when I really have time, and I'm really feeling like I want to write something, I'll go through my notes and my folders, and, various mess of organization that is my songwriting area kind of thing, and I'll write new stuff. I'll pick pieces and bits and put them together, and then I'll come out with a few complete songs, and then they'll kind of sit for a while. They'll gestate. I'll pick them up, play them a little, change them once in a while, and they'll sit there for about a year, until I decide they're ready, right?
Yeah.
So they go through that sort of like birthing process.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So everybody's a little different, and it frustrates me whenever I hear people say, "Oh, you gotta write every single day."
No,
I'm like,
don't.
you can go to hell.
Yeah,
like,
right.
You and your write every single day.
I'm not a legendary band who had to write every day back in the 70s.
Yeah.
Even then they didn't,
They
wrote for like 2 days and then did a whole bunch of cocaine and drank a lot and had a lot of sex.
Yeah, you're telling
for the other month.
Exactly. and this is what I'm saying is people that say they write every day, they're lying to you. Right?
Yeah, I write every day too. I text my mom every day. So
this is a song about taking my dog for a walk.
Yeah, right. You could too. You could start it all. I'm taking my dog for a walk. The overcast is rainy and cloudy, but I'm still taking my dog for a walk.
Because if I don't, he shits in my yard.
Yeah, there you go, right? Because if I don't, he'll take a shit in my yard, so I'll take my dog for a walk.
That's too good, man.
But you got to do it to the Joker. Taking my dog for a walk. Hey, Kid Rock did it with Werewolves in London and Sweet Home Alabama.
Hey, yeah, that's true. That's a good point. That's a good point. That's a good point. Right on. Yeah. So, have you ever done a lot of let me I'm sorry. I'm stumbling over myself. Let me rephrase. Do you like doing that process where you write with other people?
I love it, especially with band. I mean, that's a big one for me. Like it is hard for me to write solo James Beaudry music.
Right.
Because
do you consider there being much of a difference?
No, not really. I mean, I have the songs that I strictly play, and I will bring to the band if they want, but we probably never would, so I just don't.
So then with that process, do you select the songs and then kind of build them up as a band? Is that how you tend
More
to?
or less, yeah.
Okay,
We had a song called "Deal with the Devil." Speaking of one of the songs that you work on, and
Sure.
you're like, "This is awesome," and then you put it down, and then you pick it back up, and you go, "Yeah, this isn't as good as we thought it was."
Yeah.
But yeah, the song "Deal with the Devil" is we were so excited to play it a couple of years ago at Pride, I think it was. We were playing at Chaw Island.
Oh, okay.
And
I don't think are they around?
no,
New management
I
at very
think
least.
new management.
At the very least, yeah.
Just new management. We'll leave it at that.
Yeah.
And
had some experiences with that as well.
Yeah. But yeah. Now I'm trying to think.
So you played this song at what used to be Chaw
Oh
Island.
yeah, Deal with the Devil. Sorry, I just remembered that we set off Rachel Notley's alarm at her because they were right next door.
Next to the building.
Three times that night, I think we set it off, and the girl behind the bar was being a real snob. No offense,
Right.
but she was, and she's like, "You guys need to turn it down." And we're like, "Well, look, we played here like 3 months ago, and we had it just as loud, if not louder." So, well, you set Rachel Notley's place off, and we're like, "Whatever." Who cares? It's just not an alarm. Calm down. We're a rock and roll band in a small little 4-people venue. Like,
How do you set alarms off? Like
I guess we're just too good.
you're too good. The alarm bells were ringing.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah,
All right.
so Deal with the Devil. It was one of those songs, and we were so excited. We played it at a few shows, and then we put it down, and then when we picked it back up, it was that And then we pulled it apart, and we added this, and we added that, and this build up part, and just and it formed. Like now this song is that's a good song.
Right.
You know, and to me, I would say it reminds me very of in some ways almost any song off of AC/DC's Razor's Edge, but it reminds me of Razor's Edge itself. Just the tone to it and how it's I could play it for you right now, but it ain't gonna do it justice because it's
right.
You need
no.
You
I hear
need
you.
a bit, right?
Yeah, fair. Yeah, I totally get that. And that so then in that process, like that would be one where you wrote the entire song and then the band kind of picked it.
Yeah, and then we pick it apart, and that's genuinely how we write, unless we're just jamming.
See, that's fascinating to me too, because so when I started playing music, I always wanted to play in a band, in a rock band, and that was where I wanted to go, right?
Yeah.
Rock
and roll.
Yeah, totally, right? Yeah, it's just there's just a different energy there,
Yeah.
right? And what I found was, and I was a kid, right? I was like 15, 16, and there was just nobody that around that I could find in my small circle at the time that kind of shared the passion, shared the drive, had the work ethic and the dream, and I just didn't have that.
That's hard to find. The dedication.
Yes.
I've been playing with Colin and Richard, my drummer and guitar player, for just over 3 years, or like just coming up to 3 years. And you know how hard it is to keep somebody in a band for 3 years, especially
I'm aware.
when you're the front man, and it's like I'll never consider the James Beaudry band like
your band.
I mean, it is in a lot of aspects. Obviously I get the final say in a lot of things, but I never like go, okay, well, we're gonna do this. It's, hey guys, you want to do this? And here, let's decide as a band. Let's talk as a band. We always talk as a band.
Yeah.
Any issues we have with each other, we talk as a band, because why would I come up to you if you were in my band and go, John, you're being kind of an asshole lately, and blah blah blah, and then you take it the wrong way, instead of having those two other people in the band and going, no, John, you're kind of being an asshole lately.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh, well, shit, I'm sorry, man. I didn't know, right?
Yeah.
So that's kind of nice. We're family. We've fought. We for sure, not like nothing serious.
Fisticuffs.
We've told each other to fuck off a few times on stage, and
Right.
The age old. I can remember one gig we played. I won't mention where, but we played, and somebody in the band got really mad at me seconds before we were supposed to start, and I'm like, you, man, like, and just gave him that look and turned on my microphone and let's start this shit now.
Oh wow, that would be an interesting energy.
It was okay, because of course afterwards we all made up, and it was like, is what it is, but it was just not before we start. Do that shit an hour before we
Yeah,
start.
yeah. Start with a clean slate. I get that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So all this to say that, initially for me, I learned to kind of have to do a lot of things, myself.
Yeah.
And because I adopted the attitude that, build it and they will come kind of thing.
Exactly.
Right? And that serves me well, but to this day, but it also, I feel like in the area of songwriting, I'm a little bit handicapped in the area of, being able to actively write with somebody. Like I can work on I can add and take away and share notes.
Sit down.
That's a weird skill, right?
I've never actually sat down and written a song with anybody. I don't think I have. I mean, maybe.
Yeah.
Lyrics are one
BS
thing.
and pick around with somebody. But,
Yeah.
But to sit down and work out a song.
Right, and go, okay, well, I'm going to start with.
Yeah.
And then and then to work on the lyrics and this. I've never done that. Maybe we should do that.
Yeah, we can give that a try. We'll give it a try. Little cohesiveness there. We'll give it a try.
Jesus, John, you're not doing it right.
But so that's interesting, right? Because that's a big for some bigger bands or bigger artists, especially pop artists, a lot of them will have to sit down with producers and they'll do everything together like that. So for me, I hear that, I'm like, wow, that's I have a hard time imagining what that looks like.
Yeah.
When I did play with a rock band for a period of time, we did things very similar to how you describe doing things, where I would write songs, write all the rhythm parts, like my own parts.
Yeah.
Come up with some ideas that I would share with the band, and then they could either embrace them, change them a little, scrap them, add their own, and that's how we would quote write. But there was already the bones for the song were there. There was lyrics, and there was, the key was there, and we had chord structure.
The structure of
something
the song.
to work on.
Exactly, right?
So, when people say write as a band, I always wonder, do they mean from scratch, we'll write a song together?
Yeah.
Or does it mean that somebody has material and then everybody adds their own? Yeah.
Our old bass player, because we do have a new guy. Obviously, we haven't gigged with him because I just got back, and probably won't be doing that till sometime next year, I'm guessing, until we can...
Got to get your feet under you.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, maybe you'll see us pop up once or twice, but I think that's highly
if the right
likely.
Opportunity is around.
Yeah, that's exactly it. So, but it's our old bass player. He was right on the ball when I would throw new songs and, why don't you try this? Oh, okay. Try that, man. And here, let's do it like this. And it was really good. And I'm looking forward to our new bass player because he good vibe. And we've only jammed once with him a few months ago when I came back home to visit. And man, it was like he was with us for years. It was just, like I said earlier.
Just had that immediate
Yeah, all of
connection.
our songs are easy, so it's not hard to follow. But
easy to learn, but there's room to...
I like the technical stuff, so he was adding his own shit, and it was that's what I like, man. Because I want you to feel like you have full control over your instrument.
It feels good when you feel like not just you're playing in a band, but you are the band.
Yeah,
that is a good feeling.
Exactly.
Yeah. Because otherwise we would just play everyone else's songs.
Pretty much,
right?
Yeah.
And we would play them exactly how they're written.
Well, and speaking of other people's songs, I can play a cover song, right?
Sure.
Yeah. And I'm sure you know the words. So you have to sing along at the chorus.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Do you remember that show?
Which show?
Uh-oh.
No.
You don't?
No.
Really? Uh-oh, and they had the slime and all that shit that would pour on the contestants. When they were...
vaguely. Was that what it was called? It was called Uh-oh?
Uh-oh. Yeah, and they had the green slime.
Huh.
And I think it was when you got something wrong or so many strikes or something like that, you got put in the slime thing and they poured slime on you.
Right, but also we're describing every Japanese game show in existence right now.
This is true, except less sexual.
Less tentacles.
Yeah. Come on, there ain't nothing wrong with a few tentacles. It's when there's 10 or more that it's just uncomfortable to watch.
I like how you have a number. You've got it factored into.
Yeah, because 11's too many to focus on. 10 at least is a nice even number. It's not too high and it's not too low.
You just don't know what's after 10.
No, I don't want to know. I never watched that. That's bad. Her name is Noelle. I had a dream about her, she rings my bells. Got gym class in heaven, now we know how she rocks. And kids and tube socks, but she doesn't know who I am. Why does she give a damn about me? 'Cause I'm just a teenage dirtbag, baby. Yeah, I'm just a teenage dirtbag, baby. We listen to Iron Maiden, baby, with me. Sitting too low, but like any musician, we make excuses for everything.
If you're a shitty craftsman, you blame it on your tools, right?
Exactly, right? It's the tool's fault. It has to be. Her boyfriend's a dick. He brings a gun to school and he'd simply kick my ass if he knew the truth. He lives on my block. I hear he's got a huge what? But he doesn't know who I am. Why does she give a damn about me? 'Cause I'm just a teenage dirtbag, baby. Take it. I'm just a teenage dirtbag, baby. We listen to Iron Maiden, baby, with me. You can hear that September 22nd at Black Bar. John's headlining the show, folks. That's why I'm in the middle, so come about 6 o'clock. No, I'm just kidding. So I was playing this song the other day at Sherlock's, and at this part, just like what just happened now, I always forget the last verse.
Right.
And then I'm left doing this for like way longer than I have to.
Mm-hmm. And there's a point where they haven't realized that you've forgotten it yet.
And then they know.
And then they go, oh, he doesn't know the rest of the song.
Right? And then it comes back to me. And then I'm like, man, I feel like mold. It's prom night and I am lonely, lo and behold. She's walking over to me, this must be fake. My lip starts to shake. How does she know who I am? And why does she give a damn about me? Half a second. See, now, this is how it's done professionally. Because technically the band's still playing. We can all hear doon, 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 right? And then I gotta have some water. Because it's my...
See, this is what happens when the front man doesn't actually have the background band. You can still hear the music in the background.
Can't you hear it? I can hear it.
Wait. Oh, there it is.
That's how it's done, though. I don't know if you ever been to an acoustic show. Performers stop all the time. They're like, "Excuse me, I just need some water," and you're like, "Understandable." Right? And then if you're really good, you just pick off right from where you left off. I've got 2 tickets to no. See, and then I can't because I was talking, and then I got to get in that key, and then I didn't get in that key, and now I sound like John. Me and John are playing with Christopher Stone. Come see Christopher Stone. He's going to be awesome.
We should have had him here.
We should have. I didn't even think of that.
You know, I briefly asked him, kind of offhand. I was like, "Yeah, you should come too. And I'm sure James would be okay with it, whatever." And he was like,
he's like, "I don't know James very well. He might try to touch me."
No. He said, but he was like, "Well, no, your podcasts are 1-on-1, and I'm sure James has a lot of insights." And I'm like, Chris.
Well, no, this is true. Chris. I would have been like, just shut the hell up, let me talk, and we'll try to fit you in at the end. No, be like Matt Damon on Jimmy Kimmel.
Have you ever seen Chris play?
I honestly haven't.
Chris is great.
I know his brother really well, though.
Chris is great, man. He's one of those guys that I don't mean to make it sound like he's one of those guys that you've seen a vast amount of growth in a very short period of time. And it was never that he wasn't good, right? But he's just really developed his thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think once you find that thing, that spot, once you hit that certain amount of hours of stage time, you find that thing. and he
Yeah.
found it. And it's
Right
really,
on.
I really like his thing.
That's good.
I don't want I really like your thing, Chris. But I don't want to describe it too much because it's I don't want to ruin it.
Yeah.
You know, especially if you've never seen him before.
No, I haven't.
But I personally I really like his stuff. He's
Right on.
a great, yeah.
Well, like any classic musician, I'm not gonna get there till like at least 5:50 because I go
Right.
on at 6, right?
Of course. Yeah. Let's,
Wait, you think I'm gonna stay for you guys? Go on.
I mean, yeah. I mean, we're not going to be there until you're done.
No,
right?
exactly. Yeah. And then you make sure you tell all your fans that too, so they only show up at certain times. Oh, that James guy's going on. We
That
gotta
is
go.
a pet peeve of mine. In all honesty.
Oh, what time's your band on?
Yeah. What time's your band on? What time do
usually-
you guys play?
Yeah, I usually say about 7:30, maybe a half hour after the first band's supposed to be on, because we know any show, they're like showtime 7:00, 7:30. The band's finally starting their first song.
Right.
I mean, that happens anywhere.
Well, I mean, showtimes are always subject to change to a degree, right? Because, here's the thing: you'll tell people door time, and then
Yeah.
you'll say showtime, right?
Yeah.
And they're like, show up time. That's
Yeah.
15 minutes after showtime.
Yeah, of course, right?
But yeah, no, that's a pet peeve of mine when people are like, "Wait, what time is your band playing?" I'm like, "Come for the whole show.
Yeah, come see everybody.
It's great. Everybody's good, and if they're not, they're only on for like 45 minutes."
Yeah, right. Well, exactly.
But yeah, like I get it. People come to support you, right? But
Yeah.
what they don't realize is, they're supporting you by supporting everyone also.
Yeah.
Right? Like there's a whole degree there, and
You can let Puppy in if you want.
yeah, let them in.
Yeah, it's okay though.
Yeah, it's pretty chill, man. This is hangout session. Hangout session.
Yeah, Fred already came and interrupted us a bunch, so it's okay if you do too.
Barking at the RC car, so
Oh yeah, come here, my boy.
he's a super wet.
Steven, John, Steven. Hello.
Buddy. Hi. You're a nice boy. Hi. Hello.
Oh, you gotta go dry off.
What is he?
German Shepherd.
My favorite. The
Is he-
best breed of dog. I'm gonna get some lip on that one, I'm sure.
Yeah, at least,
Any one breed, that's the best.
Oh, come on.
They're all pretty good.
except for those.
The bigger the dog, the better, though.
Yes.
Yeah, except for the little yappy ones. Hi, my boy.
Well, that's a cat. He's...
Are you dissing cats, bro? I left my cat in BC.
Did ya?
Yeah. Yeah,
You
she
miss
be. Oh yeah, I do. She's my baby.
Yeah.
Well, that's her name too.
Baby.
My baby, yeah. But no, she got her. My sister has a little cat. Not so little anymore, I guess. But so I was like, she'll be happier out there, anyways.
Right.
Yeah. All right. Now it's that time. All right. It's gone past that time.
It's like NPR.
Triple X hour coming up in the next 15 minutes. Make sure your kids are in bed. Things are about to get freaky here on JonsPods.
Oh no.
What's gonna happen on JonsPods tonight? You're gonna have to listen if you want to find out.
Oh my god. This just in, we've lost every possibility of ever having any type of sponsorship.
Yeah. Even Playboy was like, that was a little bit too much, bro.
That was a little far. Yeah. Hefner's like, whoa.
Whoa, that's pretty serious because he's dead.
Whoa.
Oh,
That's
funny.
crazy, man. That's crazy.
Hell yeah.
Well, I think we probably have a good place to wrap it up here. We've been going for about an hour and a half, eh?
Yeah, somewhere around there.
Somewhere around there. What do you have to plug? Give me some plugs.
Well,
Plug it in.
we get a show September 22nd.
Yep.
With yourself
Correct.
and myself
Correct.
and Christopher Stone.
Correct.
Like I said, Christopher's going on first, so make sure you come see him because, well, you heard me and John today, so.
Yeah.
So
If you like that, I'll give you a little preview. If you like that gritty, shaky graves, sort of Louisiana blues style sort of stuff, you'll really like Chris.
I like the Louisiana Steakhouse, so.
Same thing.
Right on.
There you go.
Hey,
Yeah.
I'm in. And then September 27th, me and my guitar player, Colin, are playing at Sound Lab in Sherwood Park.
Okay.
So that'll be fun. I don't know what time or anything quite
No
yet.
ticket info for that yet?
No, I believe it's $5 or $10 at the door.
Okay.
Let me look right now.
Okay.
Thank goodness phones are so handy.
Yeah.
So
Totally.
I can look and I can tell you.
Have the entire world
I
in
can't
palm
tell you
hands.
yet because I don't know yet. That's right.
Oh.
But I also November. It's a ways away. But November 29th, Benjamin Williams, myself, and Bob Donaldson.
Uh-oh. That face.
Yeah, I was like, oh no.
It's moments like that I wish we were doing video. Like, it's so much
Right?
more work, but uh-oh.
You capture everything.
Yeah.
But we're doing that at Hilltop on the 29th of November.
Is that in Beaumont? Where's
No,
that at?
Hilltop is on 106.
Are they a new venue?
No, they've been around for a while.
Huh.
It's the bar on the corner over there. For everybody that knows where I'm pointing, it's over there. You can try to look. It's over there.
See, if we were doing video, you could see that.
I couldn't. They'd be like, "Oh, it's over there." So then people would go over there, and they'd be like, "It's not over here."
Because you pointed the wrong direction.
Yeah. No. So that one will be fun. Tickets will be available like really quick.
Right.
Probably within the next week, I'll have them in my hand. So if you need tickets, get a hold of me.
Right.
And all that.
And as we discussed earlier, we so the show is going to be $10 at the door on the 22nd
Yes.
of September.
Yeah.
But we're going to try to get some tickets together for advance copies as well. No guarantees, but we're going to try to do that just because of the interest of the show, and there's some sort of limited seating and stuff there. So we want to make sure that everybody who buys a ticket can get the seat.
Exactly.
So
And I'll throw it in there personally, and this is just a podcast only deal. I'm not gonna promote this deal or anything to anybody else. So if you heard it here, make sure you get a hold of me. If you want tickets, I'll cut you a little deal, and you buy two, you can have one for free. So that's two for one, or two for
two
three.
for one.
Three for three for two. That's what you get.
I give you a good deal. Two
Yeah,
for one.
exactly.
2 for 1.
But yeah.
Somebody's in trouble.
John, they know you're here, bro. But yeah, no, so I'll do that, but only the podcast. So get a hold of
There
me
you
and
go.
say, hey, I heard that on John's podcast. And,
Coupon JonsPod.
yeah, there you go. Use that at go check the James Beaudry band out on Facebook. Hi. Oh, thank you.
Aw, doggy
Oh, thank
kisses.
you. Oh, doggy sniffers.
So James Beaudry Band on Facebook.
On Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Honestly, Instagram and Twitter, we don't do a whole lot. We
Spell
probably
Beaudry
should.
for the people that are incompetent, because I'm one of them.
Well, it's like beautiful, but not quite. It's Beaudry.
Right. And James, like James. You can, if you can't spell James, there's no hope for you.
Yeah,
anyway.
that's-
Don't even worry about Beaudry.
Yeah, that's HAJ.
XY.
Yeah. But and then Reverb Nation, you can get our EP on iTunes.
All the applicable
Everything that you do.
places.
I don't need to list them all. We all know where they are. But Spotify, I always tell people to go to our Spotify and listen because it's the easiest way to listen to our music.
And it doesn't cost you anything.
Yeah, or Deezer. If you have Deezer as well, we're on there. We release in June, maybe it was May. We released a little acoustic compilation of our EP. Just 3 songs: Harlequin, Rock and Roll a Different Way, and California Girl. And then we also released a cover song, Platinum Blonde, Not in Love. And we kind of do a nice little twist on it. It's not anything like the original.
Your own version, eh?
Yeah,
I like
right.
it when bands do that.
Well, and it's nice, and it's always had a nice. It's always received nice.
Right. That's cool.
Yeah. Other than that, expect probably Deal with the Devil. I'm hoping by the end of next year.
Mhm.
That's James Beaudry Band's new album, Deal with the Devil, and
Very awesome.
it's gonna be great.
Mr. James Beaudry of the James Beaudry Band.
That's right. That's me.
It's got a ring to it, eh? There you go.
I know. That's why I always say, put it on my poster. People don't care, but I do.
It's important. How are they going to know who I am?
Yeah.
James Beaudry,
Who
who's
is
this?
James Beaudry? Oh, of the James
Beaudry.
Beaudry band.
I should have known. It's been a blast, man. Thank you so much for coming on the podcast. And,
Yes, thank you, and thanks for letting me play a little bit.
Yeah, it was great. It was awesome.
Let's do it. I'll do it anyways.
You can play us out?
We can leave with one new song.
Play us out.
I will. This song is called That Song. That song.
Ominous.
This is from the new boy band. Libby and John are starting right now. We're looking for 3 other members.
We're the Front Street Boys.
Yeah, and we're looking for 3 other members between the age of 18 and 45, because we need that
Preferably
really
with hair.
Yeah, we need that really old guy in the band, you know. And I don't know what our song is about, but John will write it right now. That's what he's gonna do.
This is the song that never ends.
That's funny. No, I will though. I will. Let me find it. I gotta think of which one I would like to do.
Okay.
Because there's a
Take
few
your
of them.
time.
So I'll leave you with the song I keep talking about, Deal with the Devil.
Oh, awesome.
You gotta remember, acoustic rendition, but it's a fun song.
We got you.
I gotta find a way out of here. I've got nowhere to run. My brain is playing tricks on me. Am I the only one? Every single night and day, I feel so alone and afraid. And everyone's always asking me, does it have to be this way? And I'm always asking around, is this place always this way? They told me only Satan knows. I made a deal with the devil, and now he owns my soul. I made a deal with the devil, and now I've lost all control. Something like that.